Tonight, the digital currency called Bitcoin hit a new all-time high this week. One coin now worth more than $8,000.
And this is pretty remarkable given that a year ago it was $600. Investors are becoming millionaires overnight.
Now, it has people asking if Bitcoin is a disruptor or setting up to be a big disappointment. CBS 4's David Sutter has been looking into it for quite a while. He joins us live in the studio with the latest. David?
That's right. If you invested in Bitcoin when it first started trading in 2010, you bought one coin for 8 cents. Today it sells for $8,300. Some perspective here, $100 worth in 2010 would make you more than $10 million today. Where do I sign up? But before you jump in, you might want to ask who's buying this stuff and why.
So today I'm going to be talking about cryptocurrencies.
In finance classes at Florida International University, they are talking about one of the biggest business stories of the year, Bitcoin.
Bitcoin today went up 10% within the price it's at.
Bitcoin, a digital currency, has always been a fantasy of sorts, but in the last 6 months, things have gotten unreal. The price someone would pay for Bitcoin surpassed the price of gold in April, and it continues to skyrocket. Today, Bitcoin is worth more than UPS, Nike, and BP. Yes, a digital coin, technically nothing, not backed by anyone, is worth more than $100 billion.
It's what we call economics, supply and demand. Somebody has it, somebody wants it, they'll pay for it.
Professor Marcos Kerbel is now having students present on the topic because the latest finance books are history. Bitcoin is moving that fast.
These are topics that do not appear in the textbooks yet.
In 2014, we first reported on Bitcoin. We went to an FIU business class. No one had heard of it. Today? Has anyone ever bought something or paid for something or received money by Bitcoin? Not one transaction, no one's gone to a restaurant or purchased something online with Bitcoin? Just by a show of hands, how many people have ever invested in Bitcoin here? Just 2 in a classroom of roughly 50, and they look at it as gambling.
I got it at $5,500. I only had $2,000 to invest.
And she made more than $1,000 in just a few days.
I'm actually trying to hold it because the prediction is that by mid-next year, Bitcoin is supposed to reach about $10,000.
Most young people, though, are like Alex Campo. Do you use Bitcoin?
I do not use Bitcoin.
Why?
Too speculative. Too volatile.
And boy, is it. 2 weeks ago, over a weekend, it dropped 18%. Why? Who knows? Is there a Bitcoin headquarters that I could call, that I could email?
Absolutely not.
Who operates Bitcoin?
There's no central authority.
The reality is there's a lot we don't know, like who's buying and selling it.
I don't see any patterns. I'm assuming it's the younger generation, right?
Yet in a finance classroom, those who would likely know the most about it are not using it. Certainly their parents are not using it. You cannot buy it at Wells Fargo or invest your 401k in it, which leads us to look at who would want Bitcoin. It's instant, it's anonymous, it's doubling its value overnight.
The regulators are very concerned about it because right now the whole trend is, in order to combat money laundering and terrorist financing, we need to know who are the players behind it.
If or when the government steps in, Bitcoin may be reduced to bits.
Whoever comes in last will lose.
For now, though, the Bitcoin rises. And while they are not investing or using it, our classroom believes in it. Do you believe that this is a disruptor, like an Uber for the taxi cab industry, or that this is a fad? Disruptor. Of course, time's going to tell here. Now, for this story, I bought Bitcoin in September, $250 worth. The process was technically difficult, and I ended up using a commercial service. It was far from anonymous, as I had to give them a copy of my driver's license, and it was not cheap after transaction fees using that commercial service. You know, they call this a currency. Here in America, $20 is worth $20. Usually tomorrow it'll be the same.
Right.
But with this, it's more like an investment here in the sense that $20 could be $40 tomorrow, or it could be $5. And that's how wild it is right now.
So you bought a Bitcoin. Do you still have it?
That's a good question. Yes, I actually sold it 2 weeks ago. I made $500, so I doubled in money. Again, it's important to point out that this is working like a stock market, not like a currency. Someone out there was willing to buy my digital piece of nothing for double what I paid, just because they believe that somewhere down the road this is going to be worth more.
Okay, it's very
And they're right
mysterious.
this time.
So if younger generations aren't buying it, who is?
That's a good question. Part of this could be some illegal activity. This could be drug traffickers, money laundering. But the latest rise really appears to have to do with desperate economies. Let's pull up a weekly volume chart that we put together today. Now, this chart is going to give you an idea of how many Bitcoin transactions took place in the last week. Every time you buy or sell, that's considered a transaction. Now, here in the United States, we're trading about 11 million times a week. Look at Russia, though, 900 million. Colombia and Iran are actually in the billions. And look at Venezuela. That's not a typo. That's 130 billion transactions in 1 week. Venezuela's economy is basically in a free fall here, and the inflation is skyrocketing. And they are looking at basically a situation where they're trying to put their money into an account that's going to sort of hold its value, and that's what they're going for. The problem is Bitcoin has a cap on how many Bitcoins are out there. There are 16 million Bitcoins out there. So it's supply and demand here that's driving some of this, and I would suspect that those white-collar criminals are looking at this and seeing an opportunity, push the price up, make people pay more, and that's what's happening.
All right, the professor mentioned this. What about law enforcement and regulators? What are they doing in order to regulate Bitcoin, if anything at all?
Yeah, so I would say that we're in the very beginning of all this. We can compare this to basically the beginning of the internet. The life of the Bitcoin, as we know, is really just getting started. From what I found out, the FBI is now capable of linking a Bitcoin to a transaction on a computer. How much was bought or how much was sold or who was involved, well, that still remains to be seen here. The technology, though, is improving. Give it time. I imagine that hopefully they'll have resolution sooner than later. I have a feeling, though, that with the current volatility that's going on, some people are going to get burned in all of this before that happens.
Wow, fascinating stuff, David.
David Sutter, thanks very much.